Brooke is on the line in Russellville, Arkansas. Brooke, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. It's an honor to be on your show.
Well, the honor is mine. What's going on today?
Well, I just wanted to call in and tell you about my proximity principle story. It was 8 years ago, actually just over 8 years ago. My daughter had taken a athletic scholarship at a university in Arkansas, and my son was about to leave for the Air Force. And anyway, I was recently off of a divorce, really didn't know what I wanted to do. I was really starting back out at age 40. Anyway, I kept coming up to visit my daughter to watch her play softball on the weekends. And I fell in love with the town of Russellville. And anyway, I would come up and everybody was so friendly, and there was no traffic. I'd been in Dallas for 25 years, so I was just sick and tired of traffic. And,
Yes.
And anyway, I was driving down the street with my daughter in the car one day, and I said, I really love it here. And she turned to me and she's like, Mom, you should move. And I was like, you know what? I can.
Yes.
There's nothing holding me back, and it's just going to be kind of like a fresh start. So I set a goal for myself. I said, my son leaves for the Air Force in January, and I'm going to try to move by April 1st, and that would have been April 1st, 2011. And anyway, so I just started doing everything I could. When I'd come up to see her, I would shake hands at restaurants, just try to meet people, network, let people know, I was planning on moving to the area, and I'm not a just naturally outgoing person. So, this was definitely beyond my comfort zone.
Sure.
I would get online on little Facebook groups and stuff like that and try to see buzz that's going on in the community. Is there going to be a new business opening or something like that? Because I needed to get my foot in the door somewhere. I knew I would succeed wherever I landed, but I needed to get my foot in the door somewhere. And I finally, one day I had been conversing back and forth with this one gentleman, and he said, well, I'm not aware of anything, but I have a friend that's a recruiter in Fort Smith, which is just a little over an hour away. He's like, I'd be happy to just at least send your resume to her. I don't know if it'll pan out, but I'm willing to do that for you. And I was like, okay, sure. Any lead I can get, because the job market was actually very tough at that period of time. And so I forwarded my resume to his friend, and she actually had the company she worked for had an office in Russellville, and she sent my resume to them. And lo and behold, I had just returned back to Dallas, and I get a phone call, and this company called, and they said, we think we have something that would be perfect for you. Are you in town? And I said, I just got back to Dallas, but I can be there tomorrow.
Yes.
I'm going to do anything I can to try to find something. So I went home, I got my computer, went to Starbucks because I didn't even have Wi-Fi anymore at my house. And anyway, I sat and I learned everything I could about the company I was going to interview with, and it was definitely not anything I've done before. It's manufacturing, it's steel, which is a very male industry.
Yep.
And anyway, I was going to come armed and at least know what I was going in to talk about.
Sure.
And anyway, got up early and drove the 6-hour drive back to Russellville, Arkansas, interviewed and got the job. And they asked me, can you start next week? And I said, well,
Why
Can you
not?
give me an extra week?
Yeah. Oh,
Can you
okay.
give me
Good.
an extra week because
Right.
I have to find a place to live.
That's
and,
true.
Move. So I started that position March 8th of 2011, which is 8 years ago
Right.
today.
Wow. And you're still there.
And I'm still there. And I actually took a very entry-level position.
Yeah.
And what I did there, I tried to align myself with the really intelligent people at the company, the engineers and
Nice.
metallurgy and things like that to learn everything I could. And I'd come home and study, learn everything I could. And about a year after I started, I was promoted into middle management, and I'm a key member of the team on a daily basis and plan production for our facility.
That's unbelievable. That's the role you're in now.
Yes, that's the role I'm in now.
And see, here's what I want people to hear, Brooke. You got in proximity, right, to some key people at the very beginning of that story. You just put yourself around people who knew other people, and you put yourself out there, which was a little scary. You get a connection because you're hanging around people that have good friends, and that guy had a good friend, and that friend, made a door open for you. That's opportunity. But I think your proximity story really takes off when you actually get in your current company and you're entry level, but you put yourself around the right people in that company and you learned. Remember, folks, proximity allows you to learn, do, and connect. And Brooke, that's what you did. Once you got in, you continue to use proximity in your current company, and it led you to your dream job right now.
Absolutely.
I love
Absolutely.
it. It works, doesn't it?
It absolutely works. I listen to your show a lot, and anyway, there's people that call in and you talk about your proximity principle, and I'm like, that's what I did.
That's
before,
right.
Before there was even a name for it. That's
right.
exactly what I did.
That's
so
right.
I wanted to share my story with you.
Well, thank you. And you make a key point. Even though I called it that, and that day on the car when I figured it out, what it really was, there have been people for centuries and centuries that have figured out the proximity principle. We just have some language around it now that we want to spread it, so people go, "Oh, I get it. It makes sense. If I'm around the right people and I'm in the right places, that means opportunity is going to show up." And you live it, Brooke. So here's the deal: even though you did the proximity principle, you lived it, and you're still living it, and you did it before there was the name for it, and before the Ken Coleman Show existed. I would love for you to dream scream, because you are the real deal. So you count us down from 3, and let's hear "I'm Living the Dream." Go for it.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. I'm living the dream.
Brooke is living the dream because she figured out that proximity is power. Proximity is power. Because you're not on your own anymore. When you're around the right people and in the right places, then you benefit from those right people and right places. Do you see the power? It's like walking out of the wilderness where you've been in the tent for 3 days without any power, and you walk into a beautiful hotel, right? Here's the power. Here's all the benefits of electricity in one place. That's what proximity does. It just gives you power. It prepares you to fulfill your potential. That's what it does. Man, that is awesome. Congratulations, Brooke. I absolutely love it. Hey, here's the deal. If you haven't heard the news, the Proximity Principle, the book, is now available for pre-order at kencoleman.com. For a little bit less than 2 months, we got a special offer. If you buy it now, before it launches on May the 13th, you're going to get 2 great freebies. One, the actual ebook of the Proximity Principle, and a video lesson of me teaching at our SMART conference to 6,000 people how to discover what you were created to do. 2 great free resources, kencoleman.com. And real quick, you heard what the Proximity Principle is from Brooke, right? In order to do what you want to do, you got to be around people that are doing it and in places where it's happening. But I just want to tell you, in the book, for those of you who are starting in your career or switching a career, I'm going to walk you right to the 5 people that you have to be around. They will create opportunity for you. And then I'm going to tell you the 5 places you need to get in. And those places will reveal opportunity. All that in the book. I'm so proud of it. It's going to help so many people because it's going to blow the fear off of The myth that, hey, this is really, really impossible. It's a total shot in the dark, lucky lottery win. Not true. The proximity principle will clarify what you need to do, and it will show you the path. I really want you to get it. And can I just say this? If you're a parent or grandparent, or you're a friend of a college graduate or high school graduate, I'm going to tell you right now, this may be one of the most valuable graduation gifts you can buy. Get it by the case and hand it out to a senior class. I'm just telling you, if they can get this early, they're way ahead of the rest of the pack. I promise you. Nothing pains me more than to see the stats I see about college graduates. We got a whole new batch coming out here in about a month and a half. And they're going to hit the job market, scared to death, nowhere to go. They don't know how to get there. And they're going to take a job. This is the data. They're going to take a job that they're overqualified for. Get them the proximity principle. It's so practical. It's an easy read. I promise you, it's going to absolutely be a halogen lamp on their path.